Killer kids who will change the way you see children. Number 7. Craig Chandler Price. Warwick Slasher. Known as the Warwick Slasher, Craig Chandler Price was arrested for 4 murders. Price killed his first victim when he was just 13 years old, after breaking into her home, only 2 houses down from his own. He stabbed the 27-year-old woman living there 58 times with a kitchen knife. At the age of 15, he would brutally stab 3 more neighbors, a mother, Joan Heaton, nearly 40, and her 2 young daughters. With his first murder unsolved, Price was able to commit his second horrific crime. Similarities in the killings led police to bring in the FBI to investigate a possible serial killer. At first, tying Price to the scene seemed impossible, but then an observant detective noticed a cut on Price's hand. When he was arrested, Price calmly confessed and showed no remorse for the killings. He even described the night he was in the Heaton's house, how he bit Heaton's face as he knifed her, and mimicked the final cries of her dying daughters. He was sentenced as a minor, and upon his potential release, bragged he would make history, for earning an additional 10 to 25 years for various instances of criminal behavior while in prison. He will be in jail until at least 2020, when he will be 46. Killer kids who will change the way you see children. Number 8. Peter Woodcock. This Canadian serial killer and child rapist showed signs of psychopathy at a young age. By the time he was a teenager, Woodcock was using his bike to wander around the edges of Toronto and select his victims. He would ride his bike and evolve a fantasy in which he led a gang of 500 invisible boys called the Winchester Heights Gang. His foster parents were aware that he spent time wandering around on his bike, but were shocked to discover that Woodcock had been sexually assaulting children. He assaulted many children and would eventually kill 3, all under the age of 10 between 1956 and 1957. Murders were carried out by strangulation. Woodcock would also beat his victims and forcibly insert objects into their privates before killing them. He was caught after being seen cycling away from his last victim and found not guilty by reason of insanity. Woodcock would be sent to a maximum security mental health center. As he seemed less dangerous over time, the man was released to a lower-level facility. In that facility, Woodcock, now going by the name David Michael Kruger, fell in love with a fellow patient who rejected his sexual advances. While out on a weekend pass, Kruger convinced a former lover, Bruce Hamill, to help him kill that man. Hamill and Kruger stabbed Dennis Kerr to death. Immediately after the murder, Kruger reported himself to the police. He was transferred back to the high-security facility, where he passed away 19 years later. Killer kids who will change the way you see children. Number 9. Phillips. This child killer from Jacksonville, Florida, earned his life sentence for murdering an 8-year-old neighbor in 1998 when he was only 14 years old. Phillips alleges that he was home alone the day Maddie Clifton came over to play baseball. He agreed to play even though he was not allowed to have friends over when his parents weren't home. After he accidentally hit her in the eye with the ball, the young girl began to scream and cry loudly. Knowing that his father would arrive soon and fearing his reaction, Phillips pulled her into the house and strangled her with a phone cord. 15 minutes. He proceeded to hit her with a bat and then stuffed her body under his waterbed mattress. Phillips interacted with his father upon his arrival home for a few minutes before returning to his room. Realizing that Clifton was still alive, he stabbed her 11 times to stop her moaning, which finally killed the young girl. He left her body underneath his bed. It was discovered by his mother, who thought the waterbed was leaking, came to find it was the young girl's decomposing body. She ran outside the house to contact police, who arrested Phillips the very same day at his school.